Hi, welcome back to the garden. Today is Friday, May 6th. You know what we do at my house on Fridays? We plant. But we've had monsoon rains for the last 4 or 5 days. I heard tell up to 8 inches of rain. I was told if I wandered out into the garden, I was going to get beat. And Riley doesn't need to get mud all over his white fur. It's far too muddy to even try to get to the garden on my little cart. Let's go ahead and up pot a few Carlas. This is an old-fashioned heirloom style tomato, and I've had very few of these that germinated. I want to go ahead and see if we can't try to save them. To move any small tomato into a larger container is pretty simple, but you want to make sure that you have really loose, soft soil. We're going to take this out. And it doesn't have a lot of root development. It's got some. I'm going to put that down in there like what we did in the garden. We're going to go ahead and bury this all the way up to the first leaves. And this is pretty tough, so it'll be just fine. And that'll allow all of that stem to root. And until you get them out of their cells, you're not real sure what you're going to find as far as roots go. And let's go ahead and water this in. And we got one Carla. Let's see what we have out of these other two that are side by side, because we're going to have to split these two apart for sure. They've got a very small root development, so just kind of tease them apart. They tease apart really easily. Just work it a little bit. So we got one there. We got one there. You want your soil very fluffy to do this. You don't want to break it in half, but these are pretty tough. And here's the secret that the growers don't tell you about. You just push it down into that soil. I cut it in half. Just cut it in half. Just push that down into the soil. Doubling back on itself is just fine. Water that in. And we got number two. And we'll do the same thing here. Now a popsicle stick or a chopstick works really well. Just make sure that's good and fluffed up. And you don't have any big chunks down in there to cut against. Just make sure that's good and fluffed up. You set your seedling there. Push it down in. Hold it with a little soil. That was the last of the stuff that grew in this tray. Alright, we got a couple more Carlas that we started, and I'm going to use one of these doubles here as an example. We'll just tease that apart. These are small enough, and these are big enough. I'm going to put them both in the same container to start with. Do the same thing, just push that down in there. Push that down in there, and they're pretty tough. Now it's going to be 90 by Sunday, and it's supposed to be 90 degrees all week long, so we're just going to go ahead and leave these out, get some real sun, and really get growing. I left a couple holes there in the tomato line just for these. I've been expecting to put them out all year long. Now I do have quite a few more things that need to go into the garden, but we're going to have to let it dry out just a little bit, even in the deep mulch. We've had so much rain, I don't want to compact it. So we're going to let it dry just a little bit, enough that I can get my little four-wheeler out there. Now you can do this too. It's not that hard. Now I want to thank you for stopping by, helping me and Riley get some tomatoes in the containers. Until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.